welcome to Circuit F of Phase 2 of your postpartum training guide. Today we're working on upper body and pelvic floor and core. So all you'll need are some dumbbells and a resistance band and your Pilates ball, and a heavier weight option if you're looking to increase the intensity, maybe as we repeat this circuit in future weeks. If this is your first time watching this, then have some heavier weights available, and let's get started. So the first exercise is a chest press with a glute bridge, and you're gonna use the your Pilates ball to squeeze in between your legs to get that inner thigh pelvic floor activation. So I'll show you a few reps here. You're just gonna grab your dumbbells, lie on your back side, put that ball between your knees, heels in line with hips, and then you're gonna grab those dumbbells and you're going to press up as you squeeze and press up your glutes. So squeeze inner thighs, up and down. So arms are coming up above chest. You're extending those hips, keeping the core nice and tight, and you're squeezing that ball. So inner thigh, pelvic floor, abs, chest. And you're gonna control that weight so it's going down slow, up nice and controlled. The next exercise is your tricep dips. And you can also use the ball in between your knees with this to keep that pelvic floor and core activation. So you're gonna have your fingertips facing your glutes, a little bit behind your hips. You're gonna push it into those legs, lift up your hips, and you're going to squeeze that ball, and you're gonna bend at the elbows, up and squeeze. Up and squeeze. So you want to lock out those elbows at the top, get that full tricep contraction, keep that neck long. So what you want to avoid is this sinking into your shoulders, but you want to keep your neck long, shoulders pressed down, lats on, bend at the elbows, straighten, bend at the elbows, straighten, and make sure your hips are staying in front of your hands. You're not getting back into here, but they're staying in that midline between your heels and your hands. And if that bothers your wrist, you can always put your hands on some dumbbells, and that will take off some of that wrist pressure. All right, the next exercise is a tall kneeling Arnold press. So you're gonna grab your dumbbells. You're gonna be in this tall kneeling position. You're gonna have hips stacked over knees, rib cage over hips. You're gonna start with your hands here. Then you're gonna rotate, press, and in. I'm going to show you from the side. So you're keeping this core nice and strong. You're not flaring out the ribs, but your ribs are stacked over your hips. Your glutes are engaged. Exhale, abs, pelvic floor as you press up. And then inhale. So you're rotating, keeping those elbows shoulder height. So avoid them sagging down here. You're keeping them in line with those shoulders. Okay, last in this first little circuit, we're gonna do a modified push-up with a stability hold. So you're gonna find a position on the wall, or as you get stronger with this, and as we repeat this circuit later on, you can lower down to a bed or a couch or a chair. But you really wanna make sure that you are avoiding any coning or bulging out that diastasis recti line. So when you come in this plank position on the wall, you want to feel your tummy, make sure it's not bulging out, that you can keep that that secure feeling throughout the deep core muscles. Hands slightly lower than your shoulders. You're going to push up, and then you're going to exhale, lift opposite arms, legs. So like the bird dogs that we've done, you're lifting opposite arms, legs, making sure you can keep that core strength. And you're down, up, other side. So down, whew. So make sure that you can hold your core strength as you're doing that opposite lift off, and it's going to challenge your core, and you should feel chest, triceps, shoulders working on those push-ups. All right, so you're going to repeat exercises 1 through 4 for 2 to 3 sets, and then you'll move on to the next mini circuit. All right, so we have a seated band low row. So you're gonna grab your resistance band with handles, or it doesn't have to have handles. You can just hold on the band part, whichever kind of band you have. You're gonna place it around your feet, and then you're going to come forward. I'm actually not even gonna hold my handles because I need a little bit more resistance. So this is gonna challenge your core in this position, and you should feel your hamstrings a little bit as you're pressing against that band. And you're gonna exhale, drop that pelvic floor, stack your core nice and strong, ribs over hips, and you're gonna low row here, so palms facing up. You're gonna pull those elbows back past your rib cage, and then extend forward. So I really want you to think of squeezing lats, squeezing shoulder blades together, and then releasing nice and slow. So if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, choke up on that band, add a little bit more resistance. And this is a great position to feel that pelvic floor working, lifting. As you're sitting on the floor, you can really feel that pelvic floor and your core contracting from this position. Next up, we have a wall sit with a bicep curl. So you're gonna grab your dumbbells and the Pilates ball, and we're just gonna post up here on the wall. You're gonna put that ball between your knees. You're gonna come 90 degrees, your heels on the ground, full feet on the ground, but you're really pressing into those heels. You're gonna squeeze that ball, pelvic floor, core contract. Your ribs are stacked over your hips. You're gonna bicep curl up and down. If you want to add a little extra challenge to this, you're going to do a heel raise as you bicep curl. You're going to feel a little bit more burn in those quads with that heel lift. Nice and controlled here, all the way up and all the way down. Make sure those shoulders stay back and down, core stays on. Next up, we have a tall kneeling lat pull. So you're going to stick with that resistance band. I'm going to wind up one side just so it's not dangling around, and then I'm going to hold the other side. You're gonna come in this tall kneeling position, lock your lats down, shoulders down, ribs stacked over hips, and you're gonna pull out wide and up. So you're gonna do 30 seconds each side. So pull, think, squeeze those armpits shut, and bring that elbow to your rib cage. And then you'll get the other side, 30 seconds. So you should feel a little tricep here also on this arm, especially as you're holding that band still and locking that lat down. You do not want this arm to be moving around. You're locking it down. It's resisting while this lat is pulling down. So I'll show you from the back. You're pulling here and up, here and up. And in this tall kneeling position, you're feeling that pelvic floor lift, core, your glutes are on, everything is stacked, and you are holding nice and stable. All right, if you want to level up on this move in following weeks, here is the advancement. You're going to stand tall doing this movement, and you're going to pull as you lift opposite knee. So you're gonna exhale, opposite knee lifts, and lat pull down. So you're challenging that core in that cross motion. And really focus on your abs lifting that knee with that exhale rather than your hip flexors doing all the work. And then the other side will be opposite. And as you exhale, you are drawing up pelvic floor, core to hold that stability. And last but not least, we have a half kneeling row. So I'm gonna bring in a heavier weight for this. Just because your back, those rhomboid muscles between your shoulder blades, your back muscles, they tend to be a little bit stronger than some for other upper body muscles. So I'm bringing in a little bit heavier weight. You're going to be in a half kneeling position. So 90-90 with your knees, ribs stacked over hips. You're going to put that weight right in front of that leg, and you're going to go into a hinge. So my spine is staying straight, my hips go back. You're going to row here and then pull it up. So hinge, row, and then stack hips, stack ribs over hips. So hinge, row, and up. Hinge, row, and up. So really important here that when you hinge over, you're not just rounding the back. You're keeping that back strong, you're just hinging at your hips. So you're pressing your G crease right here, pressing that back, hinging. And then this leg, you should be feeling your hamstrings and your glutes stabilizing in that half kneeling position. So hinge, pull, here, and up. And then this glute contracts as you come to that tall position. And then other side, I'll show you from the front if that helps. So half kneeling, a little bit wider than right stacked into each other, a little bit wider stance. And you're going to hinge, row, here, and up. Hinge, row, here, and up. So that knee, keep it from wobbling. You're securing through the glutes and the hamstrings. Here, row, and up. Here, row, and up. All right. And then you're going to repeat those 4 exercises, 2 to 3 sets. And then you'll be done with your circuit F, upper body, core, and pelvic floor.